But we'll open a lot of doors that you might not have thought were originally there. I guess one of the big things that I thought, personally, before I used the CDC was that we're at a school of 1,600 kids. We're not at University of Ohio or one of those big schools where there's a vast network of alumni from hundreds of thousands of them to talk to. We're 1,600 kids. How many alumni can really be out there to help us? Interestingly enough, I've talked to a lot of people in the last several years that graduated, and it's quite the opposite. Because we're such a small school, people that have graduated here understand that, and as a result, they really want to give back to a lot of people that work here. So if you go to Ohio State, for example, and there's hundreds of thousands of people, someone does a great job, and they interview people from that school, they're seeing hundreds and hundreds of kids each year trying to interview for a position. Where here, we're so unique to what we bring to the table as individuals just by having gone to Kenyon. People understand that as well, so that's a great thing to look at. And then a lot of people end up going on to graduate school. That's great. I absolutely encourage it if that's what you want to do. But don't think that just because you get your bachelor's of arts from here, that's not good. Definitely is. My personal interaction, what I did, I won't spend too much time on this, I already talked a little bit about it. What would I have done differently? A lot of people, just what I said, don't limit yourself. Really get out there and diversify your job hunt. Go into all sorts of fields. So I not only interviewed at financial places, I interviewed at hospitals, different sort of administrative stuff. Don't limit yourself. Really get an idea out there, because once you accept a job offer, it's not that you're stuck in it, but you've already put yourself down one type of track. So have as many possibilities as possible. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, is what my mom said. Yeah, and that's the other great thing. I'll hit on that a little more. I should have kept in contact and followed up with all the positions that I interviewed for. What I found, the jobs that I really liked and enjoyed interviewing at, I definitely followed up with all of them. I sent an email, a handwritten note to the people that I really enjoyed meeting. But it's also important to really follow up with everybody that you interview at. Even if you think the interview went bad, it probably wasn't as bad as you thought. Just make sure you follow up, because if you remember applying for college, for me personally, when I was applying to Kenyon, I was constantly following up. Constantly sending emails. Hey, it was great to meet you. There was a great guy here when I first applied named Denzel. He was a great guy, but I was always talking to him. But really keep the lines of communication open. The more interest you show in an employer, the more interest they're going to show you back. Resume do's and don'ts. This is actually coming off from the CDC, so I got some help from them there. Just proofread, consistency, really make your resume look absolutely professional as you can. And don't leave it for the last night. Start doing it a week before. And don't just spend 5 minutes on it here or there. Really block out a nice chunk of time where you can really sit down, kind of get into the depths of it, and really figure out what's going to, again, set me apart from everybody else that's interviewing. You're not the only one interviewing there. You really need to show that you're different from everybody else. Refrain from everything you've done in your life. I can't tell you, now that I've started working on Ameriprise, I get to take a look at a lot of people that interview with us now. And our interview process has changed a lot, but the few resumes that I've come across and interviewed a couple people there, some resumes, people have just listed absolutely everything. And that's great. Definitely those are accomplishments, but that can actually be detrimental to you if you list too much. And I don't think I have to go into too much reasons as to why that may be. Resume quotes. I pulled these off of mine. But I actually have seen over my time. But these are definitely quotes that you might want to stay away from. Graduated in the top 66% of my class. I mean, absolutely, even at Kenyon, we're in the broad scope, but maybe that's not the one thing to highlight when you go out there. I have used lots of software applications. That's misspelled. So make sure you spell check. It's really going through it and making sure that it looks good. Watering group and family dog. Terrorizing competition. These are two of my favorites. I'm quick at typing, about 25 words per minute. And on the other end of the spectrum, 756 words per minute. If you can type 756 words per minute, you'd be able to write a long paper for your class in 3 minutes. That would be incredible. I wish I could do that. But yeah, brave way. This one's just weird. Brainwave test. But here's the other thing about it. 1879, 1981, the guy was in that for 102 years. And it's just, you've got to proofread. That's really what it comes down to. And have other people proofread. That's really the best way to do it. And I'm sure you're doing that for papers and all the classes you've ever taken. But have a professor that you like to look at it. Have your parents look at it. Have your friends look at it. The more people you can have look at your resume, the better. You don't want the last thing you want to do is go into a job interview and have the guy interviewing you, or the girl interviewing you, pick out something that was just an easy mistake to fix. Fortunately, for these days, next to the result of the job. Kind of the right fit. Finding a job you love. Prioritize what's most important in your life. I find that I do this a lot in my job, oddly enough. It's always important to keep the things that are most important to you in your life really top priorities. That's family. That's having personal contact, interactions with people who get paid. I know that was something that was big for me. I didn't just want to go to a job and be in an office all day, talk to a couple of my coworkers, and that was it. I wanted a job where I was going to be constantly meeting new people, developing new relationships with individuals that I had never met before. The great thing about my job is that's exactly what I do all day. I'm out on meetings. I'm meeting new individuals, learning about their lives, really getting into the depths of things that really make people so unique to the rest of this world. And that was very important to me. So that was definitely one of the top things that I wanted to look for in a job. Having a really cool title, being the field vice president of such and such company, that's important for some people. I'll be honest, it's pretty cool to walk around as a financial advisor. You know, not a lot of people really understand what that exactly entails, but sure, I mean, so, it's, status, that's important for a lot of people as well. Maybe it's being outdoors, being outside a lot. Maybe you want to go to work in Colorado and doing outdoors, whatever it may be. But really prioritize what's most important in your life. And if you can find that and apply that to a job, you'll find yourself loving your job. And as Fuchsia said, choose a job you love and never have to work a day in your life. But find a job your dreams might not always be your first job. As I said earlier, a lot of people today go 4, 5, 6 jobs in their careers. So, if you're not too happy with your first job, maybe instead of quitting that second day, rough it out for a little bit, really get some work experience, kind of see what the world's like, get an understanding, and then move on and try to hopefully upgrade there. One of the funniest things that I've seen and heard of and been experienced with a couple of my coworkers is that there's always people that are like, God, I hate this job. I hate this job. Can't go into too much detail. One of the clients I had originally said, well, I hate my job and I'm going to quit. And I was like, okay, great. Saw him a few weeks later. So, what happened with that job? I was like, oh, I quit. I was like, great, what are you doing now? He went into the exact same field, just with a different company. And it was like, so he's doing the exact same thing, just with a different company. So it's, also realizing that. Road to bigger and better things. In all honesty, why are we here today? Why are we at Kenyon? Anyway, why did you choose Kenyon over, say, I'll go with our rival, Dennis?
For your campus.
What? For your campus? Okay, sure. I would think that really it's because we're in college. We want to bigger and better things for ourselves. We want to further understanding, increase our knowledge, be more well-rounded individuals, as Kenyon, I guess, kind of pounds into you year after year. But really, we're all here on our own choice. Sure, parents might say, oh, you have to go to college, you have to do this. Sure. But really, when it comes down to the end of the day, you don't have to be here if you don't want to. Searching for a job is the same thing. It's really, you have to create a sense of urgency for yourself. Being in this room. Why are you here today? You're here to talk and listen to somebody that's fresh out of the job, but you're here because you want more knowledge to figure out, well, how do I market myself, I guess is a way to put it, for other jobs. So it's understanding that.